All right, good morning, everybody. We had a little bit of data this morning. We had the retail sales. Looks like it came out lower than expected. Negative 0.4. They were looking for positive 0.3, so pretty bad miss there. Negative 0.9 over negative 0.2, so once again, pretty low. We have some other data prints coming out at 10 o'clock. Just business inventories, nothing too crazy. All right, looking at our trade plan from yesterday, we had 61.50, looking for 65 and 80. Let me see here. So holding above 50. Yep, that's still our trade plan here. So holding above the high, basically the overnight high at 61.50. We're going to look for around 58 to 60, a couple of levels there, and then around 80, a couple of levels there as well. If it holds below 40, we're going to be looking for 95 and 44. 95 is the value retrace of yesterday, and 44 is the value retrace of Wednesday. All right, what about NASDAQ? Do we need to make any changes to NQ? Let's see here. So holding above 22190, which is that old extension level, basically the overnight high as well. Looking for 386, which is way up here. And that level goes all the way back to December 18th. It's actually the highest value level we have on the chart. So breakout of about 200, you have about a 200-point move to that all-time high value. Holding below 38, which is yesterday's value high, we're looking for a value retrace down to 850. And if it goes lower than that, value retrace down to, what level is that? 670. They're starting to get into some pretty old levels here. All right, here's the trade plan. Pretty much the same as last night. If you guys read the closing statement, not a whole lot of movement on the pre-market. Got a couple of minutes left. Let's take a look at a few charts here. Looks like Bitcoin's still holding that anchored VWAP. Still possibly a cup and handle, but it's retraced quite a bit for a cup and handle. Typically, you don't want it to be pulling back that deep. Oil's still sitting exactly where it likes to, right on that POC. Bouncing a little bit off 70. Gold's still looking quite aggressive, forking off of that main trend. If it does stay above 2950, possibly breaking out into 3000, but more likely it might pull back to that original trend somewhere around like 2850. Pretty strong move so far into the open. A lot of delta coming in. Good morning, Vu. Good morning, Scalp. Max, Rick, Tamer, Omar, Aquarius. Good morning, Ordinary. Techie, Yusa, Allen, Ty, Lulu, AT, Roman. Good morning, Vi. Good morning, Larry, Shima, Greg, Justin, Friendly, Morris, Leo. Good morning, David. Good morning, Scott, Joan, Shay, Candle, Trevor, eBay. Good morning, JE, Olive, MV, Angelo, Ross, Albert. Appreciate you guys being here. I started posting the shorts again, so keep an eye on those. Posted one yesterday. There's one coming out on Saturday as well. And then one going to be coming out on Tuesday as well. If you guys are members in the YouTube, you guys get to see them a little bit early. I think it's like a day or two early. So you guys should see those popping up. A little bit of sell pressure into the open here. Here comes the opening bell. Holding on to VWAP on the open here. Pulled back and retested it right before that open. Minute highs and lows still being protected bullishly. So they took out 30-minute high, 30-minute low being held. Morning, Greg, Tom, music. Pretty slow open so far. A lot of bearish delta coming in on NASDAQ. Keep an eye on VWAP here on ES. You have lost VWAP on NQ. Sell pressure in NQ pulling back ES here. A little bit of a sweep on that high. Keep an eye on the EMAs on the 30-minute here, going down to 31. The single prints, yeah, we do have a couple left open, I believe. Let me double check. So we filled in these single prints from way back last week. We have a couple left on yesterday, 125 and 115. We also have an afternoon break going down to also 115. So going down to 115 would be beneficial. It would repair a couple of levels. Want to Greg, Music, TK, Barrage, Tom, appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, it's my water bottle. My mic catches that sometimes. You can hear it pop open. Pretty sloppy open so far, not a whole lot of action here. This will be a long weekend. Monday is a holiday. I'm not sure the exact time. It just has him on the calendar, no time. I'm assuming it's going to be like same time as always, probably around 1 to 3. Come on, OP, Ryder, Gabriel. Very different market structures here. NASDAQ putting in lower highs, trying to push lower, while ES is breaking its 30-minute highs here. Yeah, next week is looking pretty boring. We got a holiday on Monday. There's basically nothing happening on Tuesday. FOMC minutes on Wednesday, which those have been pretty terrible recently. Pretty much nothing on Thursday. And then PMI on Friday. So yeah, pretty boring week. And I believe there's not even a lot of earnings either. I think I checked that already. Let me see. Yeah, nothing crazy on earnings either. I think the largest company is Walmart and Alibaba. What's our volume at here? Yeah, that's what I thought. Our volume is very low. Our opening candle had 23K. That's very, very low. It should have about double that. At least 30 to 40,000. No, they don't really do promo codes, but you can get a free trial. Here is a link for a free trial. They only do promo codes like rarely, like Black Friday, New Year's. Did they ever get back to you guys on your extensions? Let me see. Nope, still waiting on that. Okay. Yeah, I'll contact them. I've been waiting to hear back about their I normally have a person that responds to me like every single day. I send them an email about people who need their trials extended, and they usually get back in like less than 24 hours, but I haven't heard from them in like a week. Alright, looks like ES is winning the battle here. ES was pretty bullish. NASDAQ was trying to be bearish, and NASDAQ is now following ES. Continuing that 30-minute one time frame effect, breaking the highs and protecting the lows. Their office is that close to you? Nice. Yeah, I need to, I've been sending them messages on Discord, but I need to send them like an actual email. Yeah, Scalp, sorry, I've been trying to contact a few of their team members. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, you get really good ping. Yeah, that's how I feel living in the Northern Virginia. I get really good ping to a lot of servers. It's nice living close to the all the data centers. Yeah, it seems like it's continuing the trend from the close yesterday. Had a very strong bullish trend. Closed with over 30,000 bullish delta, I believe. There's a little bit of data at 10 o'clock, but shouldn't move us too much. Just business data. One of Jupiter. Yeah, the market's one of those things you just can't really think about too much. You can't try to make sense of it. It will drive you crazy. Just follow whatever it's showing you. I talked about it in Discord yesterday when Trump was speaking because he was talking about his EU tariffs and stuff like that. And he kept saying the word tariff, tariff, tariff over and over again, but the market wasn't really reacting. So the initial reaction that we have been seeing the past few weeks is every single time he says the word tariff, the market has been very bearish. They have been selling almost immediately. Now it seems like they don't care anymore. It seems like they've kind of priced it in. So what it looks like on the daily, if I pull up the daily here, what it looks like is we kept getting just a big surge in sell pressure trying to push us down over and over again. We had one back in middle December, late December, early January. Had another one back there at the end of January. Just getting these like surges to the downside. But they're not able to hold any of this sell pressure. The sell pressure is just not maintaining that trend. You get a lot of long wicks on the bottom, a lot of buy pressure coming in. So it looks like there's just a lot of absorption going on the higher time frames. All of those very strong tariff sellers are just not getting what they want, which is extremely dangerous for any swing traders that are shorting in this area because you had all this sell pressure. Think about this on a smaller time frame. If we saw this on like a 30-minute or like a 5-minute, we would be looking for a potential squeeze because all of these sellers are being absorbed. And that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like we just have a bunch of sell pressure being absorbed, and it's getting very close to squeezing them out. Now, I'm not a swing trader. I don't really like looking that far out. I like taking it day by day. But if I had to guess, that's what it looks like. It looks like we're getting ready to squeeze a lot of built-up sell pressure that has been absorbed. Been nothing but doom and gloom the last few weeks. People trying to crash the market. But pull up the market on a daily. Doesn't look like it's crashing to me. And that's one of the things I always talk about on stream about having, don't have such a strong bias, right? And I'm not talking about just like politically, I'm talking about just any kind of bias. Because we always see these people that are like perma bears, perma bulls, and they're just constantly shilling their mindset and they want you to be a sheep and follow their mindset. They'll show you all these bearish patterns and they're saying the market's going to crash, yada, yada. If the market doesn't look like it's going to crash on the chart and everything's aiming up, it's probably going to keep going up. Right? Don't fall into this trap of listening to the loud minority. And the thing about the stock market is usually the bears are louder than the bulls. It's almost always the case. The people that are trying to push that doom and gloom, the people that are trying to push the 08 crash, right? The giant crashes, they're always louder. And this is coming from somebody who's a short bias trader. I like taking shorts more than I like taking longs. And I'll still tell you that the short bias traders are usually the loud minority. It's like the crypto guys, man. Look at crypto. Crypto's at 100K. Bitcoin's at 100K, right? And then you have year after year after year of people saying that it's useless and it's never going up and nobody's going to use it and blah 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 blah. And what does it do every 3 years? It basically doubles in value every 3 years. You just can't fall into that trap, man. People just don't know what the hell they're talking about most of the time. You got to trade what you see. Starting to build up a little bit of bearish delta here. Keep an eye on those 24 EMAs and VWAP if it does start to break those averages. I'm not sure what you mean, Chris. Do you mean like on this chart? Like going back and looking at this volume to the prior day or something? Little surge in bearish delta here. Keep an eye on VWAP. Yeah, I think if you just have that on your chart, you could just set it to load more days. So like if you go in the settings, you should be able to set how many days it loads. I forget where it is, but it's somewhere in here. And you can have it load more days so you can look back. It's like somewhere up here or something. It's somewhere in the settings. I'm not sure where it is. You have to look around for it. Here's VWAP, 6135, losing VWAP on NASDAQ. NASDAQ not respecting VWAP as much as it normally is. Yeah, Tom, and that's why that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people are like, well, if you look at the stock market, it's only like 5 companies that are pretty much moving the entire stock market, yada yada yada. And it's like, yes, we get that. That's been the case for many years. Nobody cares. It's still going to do what it does, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to change anything. And another thing that people forget is the stock market is not notional value, right? I don't know where this idea came from that people always think that every single stock, whatever its market cap is, that's its notional value, like what it's actually worth, right? That's not how the stock market works. The stock market runs on multiples of future expected value. And in growth companies like Nvidia, AI, whatever it may be, their multiples are very high. Because they are growth companies. They expect them to grow rapidly. Yeah, that's a massive misconception with a lot of new traders, and honestly, even traders that have been trading for a long time, they tend to forget that. Stock market is not based on one-to-one notional value. And that's like the main argument between... by the way, VWAP's bouncing. Keep an eye on VWAP here. Really nice bounce. Back above the EMAs here. That's the main argument between like technical traders and fundamental traders, right? Fundamental traders trying to make sense of all this. Like what the company's actually worth, what it's going to be worth in the future, how is the earnings growth, all that stuff, right? And then you have the technical guys who are like, okay, if it's going from the left side of my chart to the right side of my chart, then it's bullish, right? The bottom left to the top right. Let me draw a diagonal line here and I'm going to buy it. Technical traders don't care too much about all that back end shit. And especially if you're a day trader, right? Who cares? If you're a day trader, you shouldn't care about any of that stuff. It doesn't affect you really at all. All right, uptrend is still very stable. Keep an eye on the 30-minute. 30-minute low is being protected. 30-minute high is being taken out. Same trend that we saw into the afternoon of yesterday. Very, very strong trend. Had over 30,000 delta on that close. Oh, I see what you're saying, Chris. You're trying to have like on this column, you want to have like another row. Yeah, I don't know if it has that. Yeah, I don't know what that would be. There might be like a relative volume indicator or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, that wasn't yesterday. That was back when he was speaking at the conference. I think it was earlier this week. But yeah, the Powell questions are just getting ridiculous. I mean, the reporters are almost acting like he's Trump. They're asking him questions like he's the president. It's insanely cringe. The cringe is just off the charts. Those conferences have almost become unwatchable, to be honest. If you think the price action's too choppy, you're probably looking at too low of a time frame. Keep it on the 30-minute. The price action is incredibly clean on the 30-minute. The lows are all being protected. The highs are all being taken out. The pullbacks into the middle to lower section of the candle are being protected. Same trend that we saw during the close of yesterday. Very bullish. It should be in your cluster settings, Luke, if you're on Addis. It should just say like show value or something like that. Pretty slow day. People are taking their long weekend a little bit early. I mean, next week is a good week for vacation if you need it. There's not a whole lot going on. At least in the data sense, not a whole lot of data coming out. Yeah, there's no extremely high strike rate trades today. It's just a VWAP bounce. There was a VWAP bounce there, VWAP bounce there. That's really about it. Other than that, it's just trending. It's just a 30-minute trend. There's basically no reason to be a seller so far today. The buyers are just in complete control. I don't think we have any single prints to the upside. I think we cleaned up all the ones to the upside. We have some to the downside from yesterday. Starting to get a little bit weak on the high here. Not a lot of bullish delta above that 30-minute high. Has not lost a 30-minute low in quite a while. You lost this low at 8 o'clock, but that quickly recovered. So realistically, since like 6 a.m., we have not lost a 30-minute low. Well, if it lost that level, Luke, it wouldn't be absorption. So I'm not sure what you mean in that case. Because if they're absorbing the level, they would not lose the level. If the level is being absorbed, it would be like if we pretend there was absorption here, and there were a lot of buyers coming in, but it wasn't able to break that level, then we would look for kind of a rollover back to the downside. But if it breaks that level, then it's no longer absorbed. You're just continuing that trend. Bitcoin going down a little bit. Let me see. That looks fine. It's been chopping in the same range for the entire month. Yeah, definitely, Roman. It definitely helps for sure. Like if you see a bunch of bullish absorption, you want to see kind of below that node, you want to see a lot of bearish delta coming in. I've got a couple of shorts coming out on absorption over the next week or two, so just look out for those. We've been making a few of those recently. I released one yesterday. I forget what it was on. It was on balanced profiles, those D-shaped rotations. The one coming out on Saturday is on the rollover top. It's hard to explain how you would understand that it would be a stronger pattern for the downside compared to the upside. It's really just screen time. There's a lot of very small variables that I can't like remember off the top of my head. But once you see that pattern happen over and over and over again, there are certain things you'll look for that will just make it look much stronger. Obviously, it depends on like how strong the cluster is on each side, like how much bullish absorption is, or sorry, how much bullish delta is being absorbed, how much bearish delta is coming in compared to that bullish delta. Is there like double? Is there triple? How is price reacting to those levels? Is it very bottom heavy? Is it very top heavy? Is it constantly like bouncing back into the bullish level and then instantly slapping back down? Stuff like that. It's really hard to explain. It's a lot of screen time. I don't really care for stuff like that. I'm not a TD trader. I don't count the candles. Um, but if it is like extremely extended based on like momentum, or maybe we have some bear divs coming in, like we kind of have a bear div right now. Um, if I consider it extended based on the indicators that I watch, then obviously the sweep would have a higher probability of playing out. But I don't really care about how many candles the trend has in a row. I'm not a TD trader. That'd be like a TD9, TD13. There's a little bit of a bear div on this high here. Still not seeing a 30-minute low being taken out, so the momentum is not incredibly bearish until we start seeing those 30-minute lows get lost. Oh yeah, we had the 10 o'clock data. What was it? It was negative 0.2 over 0, so a little bit low. Yeah, I think I've got a couple of shorts on bear divs, and it's the first video in our playbook series as well. I think I've got a short, at least one short on pretty much every topic that I cover on stream. And then some topics I already have like 4 or 5 shorts. You kind of got to search through them, but you'll find them. eBay, it's called TD sequential. Whenever you see people counting bars where they have like the 9 reversal bar or the 13 reverse, I think it's 13 or 11. I can't remember what it was. But it's called TD sequential. It's just a way of trading. More popular in crypto. Good morning, Mauser. Yeah, I think TradingView has a built-in indicator for it, I believe. Should be called TD sequential. I wonder if Addis has it. Yeah, they have. Addis has it as well. Yep, so here's a 9 reversal bar. And then we started an uptrend, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's counting the bars. Not something that I use, though. Hey, Stocks, check out some of my playlists, man. My playlists have a bunch of videos on different patterns you can look for. A lot of different techniques you can check out. Highly recommend my volume profile playlist. That will help. My how to trade playlist is a lot more basic information. If you're kind of starting from scratch again. Check out my shorts. They're very short videos, obviously. They're like 2 to 3 minutes long. Give you little tips and tricks here and there. If you watch the live stream every day, you'll pick up a lot of the stuff that we teach just by watching. I stream for 2 hours every morning, 9:30 to 11:30, and then I stream the rest of the day in Discord. So you'll pick up a lot of stuff just watching the live streams. No, I do not have an institutional background. I've always been retail. Still bouncing off VWAP for now, not taking out any 30-minute lows. Yeah, we are kind of rotating the cash profile. The full session rotation would obviously be a little bit wider. That would go down to 32, which is basically just rotating the POC node of yesterday. What you really want to look for is if there's a bunch of sell pressure below this POC node of yesterday, which is basically the value low, same exact level, those single prints might get filled in, which would repair that afternoon break as well. Keep an eye on these 30-minute lows. We have not lost one for like 4 hours now. Looks like this one's getting ready to get taken out. Here comes VWAP on NASDAQ at 116. VWAP still holding on both. Yeah, I feel like the whole point of going back to repair single prints is you would want to repair all of them. If it doesn't repair all of them, then it's not really doing its job. It depends on what they are, though. If it's like CPI or something like that, it doesn't have to repair all of them. I think as long as it tests like half of them, it's fine. Pretty bottom heavy candle here, trying to build up a lot of delta on that low there. So far being absorbed. All right, that is the first 30-minute low to be taken out since like 6 a.m. A lot of bearish delta being built up around 38 to 35. Starting to lose VWAP as well, coming up on that full rotation, which is also yesterday's POC. Below that, it might look for the single prints going all the way down to 115. That would be a drop of about 20 points. Doesn't look like it has that much momentum just yet. Sell pressure ramping up after that 30-minute low was taken out here. The upper single print is at 25. That one only needs about 10 points. Basically looking at a micro pullback day here on the high of yesterday, which was a thin profile. Very bullish profile. So far, it's doing a pretty good job holding on to that value low. If it doesn't hold on, the overnight low around 21 would be the next major level. And the single prints are basically right around that level as well. Delta is fairly weak on NASDAQ. The sellers aren't getting too much delta down here, so keep an eye on those EMAs. If you start to recover VWAP back above like 120, probably just goes back into rotation. Yeah, here's that buy pressure. NASDAQ bouncing back to that 120. Needs to hold back above VWAP here. They did put in a poor low, so not a proper tail there. All right, here's that bounce back we were talking about. Very weak bearish delta on NASDAQ, kind of gave that one away. Reclaimed the ADMA, reclaimed VWAP. Now we're back into that uptrend here. Or at least back into the upper rotation. We don't know if it's going to hold on to that trend past the value high. Yeah, you could look for the poor low if it's already going down there based on like a rotation or something. It doesn't really look like it wants to go down there right now. That rotation is nearly complete. Looking for, let me see here, 42. That lack of bearish delta on the way down, leading to a very large spike in bullish delta here. You could even say that was a very small bull div, but it wasn't very obvious. It was kind of a flat bull div. Once it reclaimed VWAP, finished the rotation, and now it looks pretty strong, trying to hold above that rotation, above that value high. Getting a little aggressive, kind of away from the ADMA here. Needs to stay towards that ADMA around 151, trading about 10 points off. That rotation is complete, so now we need to see if it wants to stay outside of rotation, outside of balance, if it can hold above 42. It looks like NASDAQ is kind of leading here, obviously. Next level on NQ coming up at 190. Finish that rotation nearly instantly. Hey, Scott, have a good weekend, man. We'll see you on Tuesday. Yeah, volume is very low today. Yeah, you just got to look at the bigger picture. The D-shape micro pullback is in full effect right now. Don't watch the 1 minute too much. The rotations are pretty clear on the D-shape 30 minute. That little bounce back right there should not be happening if it's going back in the rotation. So it started to fail, started to go back into the downward rotation, but then it bounced off VWAP. It shouldn't be doing that. It should be going down to the value low, right? So it's a little bit bullish if it can stay above VWAP. There's one problem on ES. On ES, it's not staying above the delta average, so it is pretty weak unless it gets some more bullish delta here. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one's leading or lagging, but I would say normally if NASDAQ is leading, it's probably a little bit more aggressive. More of an aggressive day. Because if NASDAQ is leading, that typically means the large growth companies are moving a lot. This looks like the lack of delta. You can see there's a lack of bullish delta on ES, possibly showing a very small trap. Still running on very low delta here. All right, delta's starting to cross that delta average here. Still holding on to the 24 EMA. Possibly turning into a little bit of a vertical distribution at this point. Low volume, very slow. Trying to break out of balance. Looks like you don't have the momentum to stay out of balance here. So going right back to rotation. Cash rotation is 36. Possibly looking for the poor low. And ES is, or sorry, the full session is 33. Finishing that rotation damn near instantly here. So still in that micro pullback balance. Keep it on that poor low if the momentum does continue. It needs 30 to repair. All right, there's that poor low repaired. This candle is quite bearish, probably the strongest directional candle we've seen today, and it's ramping up still. Keep an eye on those single prints. They're going down to 25 and 15. Overnight low is 21, so in between the single prints. So at this point, if it bounces back up, just keep an eye on that bearish cluster that we were watching earlier, kind of around like 35. Basically right where VWAP is. If it bounces up and then rejects VWAP, then that would be breaking out of balance and trying to continue to the downside. That's if it even bounces. It looks pretty strong right now. Okay, here's that bounce back. If it continues, it needs to stay below 35 if it wants to actually trend here. Still holding that bearish trend, not bouncing back too much here. Staying below the 80 MA here, so trying to stay out of balance. All right, keep an eye on the bounce back to VWAP and the 24. If it stays below this like 35 to 38 area, you might start getting some more sell pressure to the downside. All right, here's the telling moment. If it stays below VWAP here, you might start a little bit of a trend. If it does not stay below VWAP, then you're just going right back into what we were doing. Sticking to that micro pullback, staying in that D shape. You should be able to see the time frame right here. It's on the 1 minute, unless it's blocked off on my stream. I think you should be able to see it. Hey, Greg, we'll see you on Tuesday, man. It depends on which chart it's on. I think this chart's 500. Or no, this one should be 300 as well. Yeah, they're both on 300. All right, let me make a quick short really quick, and then we will call it a stream. We'll talk about this VWAP trap that I was talking about earlier. Did we have the VWAP trap on NASDAQ? We did not. Still pulled back anyway because of VS. You did have a bear div though, so we could kind of talk about both of these here. You had a bear div on NASDAQ, which dropped it. Higher high on Delta, lower high on price. And then on this one here on ES, it was a VWAP trap. So you bounced through VWAP, did not break the Delta average. So a couple of signals there. For the most part, we were just watching the rotation, which ended up being perfectly fine. Failed the value high into the value low. Repaired the poor low as well. All right, let's go ahead and make it short. I think I can cover both of those in 3 minutes. Yeah, I probably don't need to make them into 2 separate shorts. It's probably fine. Alright guys, in today's video we're going to talk about a couple of things here. We have a VWAP trap on ES and we have a small bear div on NASDAQ. So I'm going to cover both of those patterns. We'll start with the VWAP trap here on ES. If you watch my playbook video on VWAP traps, this is a great example of what you want to look for. So we started to bounce through VWAPs. These two lines right here are both the VWAPs. We have the session VWAP and the daily VWAP. We started to break through those VWAPs, but the delta was very weak on the buy side there. So the delta actually stayed below that delta average. That's a 1 hour average right there. So staying below the delta average but breaking VWAP typically gives you a little bit of a trap. It typically tells you that this move is not strong enough to continue. And then we saw that pretty strong retrace to the downside after that VWAP trap did end up playing out. Now on NASDAQ here, it's a little bit different. It did have the delta to continue there, but on the high, we actually put in a bear div. So you had a higher high on delta, but you had a lower high on price. Now, typically, when you have a higher high on delta and a lower high on price, that is showing you a little bit of absorption. That means the buyer delta on that second high was being absorbed. You did have the buyer delta coming in, but you did not have price breaking through that high. So therefore, that buyer delta was being stuck, it was being absorbed, and then it got squeezed out on the move down there. So a couple of signals to look out for if you guys are looking for a shift from bullish momentum into bearish momentum. But all right, guys, we're going to call it there. I appreciate you guys being here. Enjoy your long weekend. I will be streaming on Tuesday. Obviously, Monday is a holiday, so I will be back on Tuesday. Look out for a short. We got a short coming out on Saturday, and then I'll post the summary of markets probably on Sunday, maybe on Monday because of the holiday. So look out for that. And yeah, that's all I got. 80% off sale with Apex if you use code BREW, B-R-E-W. They still have their sale going on. Addis still has their free trial if you guys want to check them out. If you guys are in Discord, I'll see you guys there for the rest of the day. If you guys are not in Discord, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. And I'll see you guys back here on Tuesday. Peace, everybody.